The Imperial IB Diploma Business and Management Case Study. The Imperial is a seaside hotel in Mombasa, Kenya. It was founded in 1906 by Roger Williams, a citizen of the United Kingdom, UK, who had made a large fortune in the primary sector of British East Africa. Identifying a market opportunity and wanting to diversify his investments, Roger founded the Imperial. The Imperial initially had some financial problems, especially regarding cash flow and liquidity management. Roger operated the hotel as a sole trader. By 1920, the Imperial was the most famous seaside hotel in Mombasa. It had a very positive corporate image and a well-deserved reputation for its grandiose architecture, its high-quality service, and its elegant decor. It held that reputation for several decades, until the 1950s. The 1950s were a turbulent time in Kenya. Following the Second World War, independence movements emerged throughout the British Empire. Fearing that the situation would turn violent, in 1959 Roger's son and heir Jeff Williams decided to sell all the family properties in Kenya, including the Imperial. In the decades that followed, the Imperial was bought and sold several times. Between 1959 and 1989, the Imperial had different owners. Investors were often interested in the hotel, as it was an attractive 200-room property with a private beach and easy access to Mombasa Airport. However, because of recurring political unrest in the neighboring countries, the owners feared the situation in Kenya would deteriorate. They often panicked when the political situation seemed to worsen and sold the hotel. In 1989, Global Properties (GP), an international investment group, set up a subsidiary private limited company that purchased the hotel. GP was a good symbol of the new globalized world. GP's shareholders were from the United States, Japan and South Korea. GP's relationship to the hotel was hands-off. GP did not want to be involved in the daily management of the hotel operations, preferring to have a manager on site. The manager would have to generate profits, most of which would be paid in dividends to GP. Once a year, the manager and a representative from GP would meet to calculate the break-even quantity for the coming year, set target profits and determine a margin of safety. In 2009, Martin Matthew was appointed manager of the Imperial. This appointment was a remarkable coincidence of personal history and the history of the Imperial. Martin's father, Jomo Matthew, had been a trusted groundskeeper at the Imperial when the Williams family still owned it. When Jeff Williams sold the hotel in 1959, he used his influence to help Jomo obtain a work permit in the UK. Jomo moved to London, where he worked the rest of his career in the hotel industry. Martin was born in London, where he grew up in a multicultural society, and sometimes as a schoolboy he was a victim of racist bullying. He went to university and graduated with a degree in hotel management. When Jomo retired in 2000, he returned home to Kenya. Martin wanted to connect with his Kenyan heritage and went with his parents. At the time, the Imperial was recruiting receptionists. Martin applied and got one of the positions. 5 years later, he was promoted to head of reception, and 4 years after that, though only 30 years old, he was appointed as manager of the entire hotel. GP particularly liked the fact that Martin was of African descent but that, at the same time, he was westernized. GP thought that this was a perfect combination. Visit us at www.theimperial2014.weebly.com.